allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Dyer, if you would call the roll.
Mayor Carney.
Here.
Mr. Daly.
Here.
Ms. Ferguson.
Here.
Mr. Harriman. Mr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. Sins.
Here.
Mr. Terry.
Here.
Are there any additions or amendments to if there are no amendments or additions to tonight's council meeting agenda, the agenda will stand as presented. Is there a motion to approve the council regular meeting minutes from July 8th, 2024?
So. Second.
Mr. Sins.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Thank you. We have a special guest in our presence this evening. I would like to call Mr. Bill Headings forward. If you would like to stand up here along with me. This recognition came to us via our Parks and Rec Director, Ms. Linda Granger. She wanted to help give special notification and notice to Mr. Headings. Because you have created something in our park that is very well known, and so many people come and get their picture taken with it, and it's an icon of Plain City. So this evening is my pleasure as mayor of the Village of Plain City to recognize Mr. Bill Headings. Mr. Headings is the creator and carver of the Pioneer Man, located in Pastime Park. In 2008, during the Miami Valley Sea Treasure Show, Mr. Headings carved the Pioneer Man and dedicated it to the Village of Plain City. Since then, Mr. Headings recently restored the Pioneer Man on his own accord, and it is now on display at the entrance to Pastime Park. Mr. Headings' service and generosity to the Village of Plain City has been noteworthy and deserves to be celebrated. The Village is pleased to be able to recognize community members who find ways to serve the community, and on behalf of the Village of Plain City, we thank you so much for your dedication. Thank you. Thank you so much. Moving into our visitors portion of the meeting, we have a few visitors. Up first, who has signed in to speak is Mr. Barry Adler.
Thank you. My name is Barry Adler. I reside at 9559 Industrial Parkway. I am the chairperson for the Jerome Township Board of Trustees, and I'm here to object to the proposed annexation. An initial review finds several technical issues where the petition may fail to meet laws for an expedited Type 2 annexation. However, my concern is more global with regard to water and sewer utilities. The pre-annexation agreement indicates that Plain City will provide these services. The application has TBD on it, or to be determined, but the applicant has indicated to Jerome Township that Marysville will provide these services. In any case, the applicant suggested that one of the potential uses is for a data center. If this is the case, then the water usage needs further consideration, since Marysville indicates that there is not the capacity to meet with currently understood water usage requirements for such a facility. In discussions today with Marysville, it was estimated that they would only be able to provide an estimated 100,000 gallons of water per day. The request from the applicant was for 2 million gallons per day, with 1.5 million in sewage for sewage. Furthermore, any agreement with Marysville in support of this annexation may be considered a violation of the existing Cooperative Economic Development Agreement, or CEDA, with Jerome Township. Even if Marysville was able to supply the services as part of the Joint Economic Development District, or JED, there would still be a requirement to pay the 1.5% income and business tax that is split between the township and the city of Marysville for a new connection. This could be in addition to the Plain City 1.5% income tax and that would be about 3% tax that might discourage most businesses. Additionally, the current comprehensive plan for Jerome Township shows the land use for these properties is rural residential. The applicant states that it desires to rezone the property to PUD commercial industrial under the PC Plain City zoning code, which is not consistent with our township land use. Furthermore, it is likely that a data center may not be possible due to water and power limitations. Therefore, the rezoning may likely result eventually in another rezoning request for higher density residential when limited services are extended to that area. Is that what Plain City ultimately desires in the Big Creek watershed area? I understand there's a conservation grant for a property nearby on Converse, which is in very close proximity or possibly adjacent to the property. I just want to go on the record as willing to cooperate with Plain City on future projects and would encourage working with the township to find mutually beneficial projects in support of our common interests. Thank you for your considerations.
Thank you, Mr. Adler. Our next speaker is Mr. Alan Shepard.
My name is Alan Shepard. I live at 8990 US Route 42 here in Plain City. And I've been here about 40 years and have purchased and redeveloped 6 projects that have started by other developers and failed or were left a mess. New California was in serious problems when we bought it. I think if you drive through there, you'd have to admit that it's a success now and that it's an asset to the community. The same goes for Pleasant View Farms, which is in the northern part of the county, and it is 3 to 5 acre lots with large homes in the $1 million range. Jerome Farms, which is across the street in what has developed as a residential area from the project that's being proposed, and it's 250 acres, I think. Is that right? 400 acres, a little bit off. Tally Ho Farms is where we live. We cleaned it up, done some development there. And our next project is just south of here, about a half a mile, called Oak Grove, which is a single family subdivision of 70-foot lots. We developed from that range up to most of these projects have been started by someone else and were messed up. This piece of property, clear up to our property line, is zoned and put together for single family residential, senior projects and other residential uses. To the south of it is residential. Next door is us, which is residential, and it is not befitting a commercial industrial type use. And I'd be happy to ask any questions. Have anybody?
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you.
Moving into our reports portion, I was unable to attend the July 8th council meeting, but I wanted to give accolades to all of our staff, our Parks and Rec department, Linda and Denton, police, fire, support staff for 4th of July. We had a fantastic 4th of July celebration. There's a lot of people that come into Plain City for our fireworks and just festivities throughout the day. I've seen several people from other communities coming in, and it's just a testimony to our events and how well they're growing. So just wanted to give my public appreciation to our staff for the hard work that they put in to make everything a success. I've attended the opening ceremonies along with staff for the Steam Threshers last Thursday. They had beautiful weather. It was a great event. Again, the parade, I have never seen so many chairs set out throughout the daytime along Main Street for a parade, and everybody stakes their claim. It was well over an hour and a half long. Didn't make it through the entire parade on that one, but also Saturday at the park was very busy. So many people with tractor pulls. I know it takes place once a year, but there was a lot of people coming in from other communities again to our town. So passing through, I'd be curious if we could collect some data of how many people are in the park during that event. So that was wonderful to see. And also spent that week of July 8th through the 13th down at the Madison County Fair. So wanted to give the Madison County Fair Board a shout out for a fun week. And if you are looking for a county fair to attend, Union County is going on right now. So lots of 4-H members in our community that are participating and taking their leadership to the next level. So with that, passing it over to Ms. Lupton, our village administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. Well said about the 4th of July. A couple of other updates. Paving is going on this week, obviously. They should be complete with everything this week. North Avenue has been milled. Buckboard should be repaved tomorrow, weather permitting, as well as our admin lot, and then the police lot will be sealed later this week as well. The admin lot is being paved with entirely grant funding, so that's a bonus. We continue budget meetings with all departments, so we stay on track with that. Chief McKee asked me to provide a few updates. Rock the Clock is uptown Saturday night. It is a ticketed event this year, so make sure you get your tickets. Steam Threshers did go well, again, from a safety standpoint. It was well attended. And then National Night Out is August 6th, from 6 to 8 at the Municipal Building. The event will feature Cones with Cops, where children 12 years and younger can receive an ice cream cone for free from Lily's. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lupton. Ms. Sonnet, our finance director.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I have to add is the supplements on the budget, on the agenda tonight. I'm here for questions regarding the supplement.
Thank you very much. Mr. Terry, our council president.
Yeah, so our last work session was canceled. Our next work session is on August 7th, I believe. And outside of that, I will go ahead and hit fire board at the same time. We had our fire board meeting last month. Obviously, the topic of conversation was the EDIP and the proposed TIFs, along with some other items. And our next one is on August 1st, and I will be out of town. So I'm looking at my alternate and just informing him that August 1st, if possible. If not, we understand.
Thank you, Mr. Terry. Mr. Lafayette. Economic Development Committee, Ms. Ferguson.
Yes, our last meeting was June 25th. Mr. Stanford updated the committee on the EDIP as well as all of the economic projects that are currently going on. Our next meeting is tomorrow morning at 11. I would like to extend the invitation to any council members. Tomorrow we are going to be discussing the most common economic development incentives. So if anybody wants to sit, we meet at 11. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. Harriman is unable to be here this evening, but there will be, or there's no meeting in July, but there's one item for August 14th, a variance for a fence. So that is Board of Zoning Appeals. And Planning and Zoning Commission, we meet this Wednesday, July 24th at 5:30 for the outdoor FX property. And I believe the August 7th work session will be a joint meeting with Planning and Zoning Commission as well. So to discuss upcoming developments. Parks and Rec Committee, Mr. Sins.
Thank you, Mayor. We have the aquatic community input session is this Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So Thursday, July 25th is the same day as our weekly farmers market. So attend the farmers market from 4:30 to 5:45 and have on over here to the administration building for the community input session. And there is some refreshments being served and a 4-person family membership drawing for that. So come on out. There's goodies. And what else?
We did want to add that we did pull numbers for July 4th. Last year's attendance was around 7,100. This year's was around 6,700. Still sizable. The weather definitely, I think, kept some folks away, but it's still pretty incredible turnout.
Thank you, Ms. Granger.
Music in the Park continues. Other events we talked about are fantastic and happening. Keep an eye out on the calendar. And then in our meeting, we reviewed and discussed the most recent revisions and comments to the park rules, and we're getting those finalized for council review next, probably, I would say September.
And anything on tree commission?
I do.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, Mr. Sint.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis, Personnel and Finance CIP Committee?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. We had our meeting on July 17th. Talked about the budget that's on agenda for tonight. Discussed the police levy and voted to agree to give Mr. Bennett the green light to kind of move forward with his activities from the treasurer perspective. And our next meeting will be August 21st.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. And covered Fire Board and Plain City Area Development Corporation, Mr. Udaly.
We didn't have any meeting in July. I believe the next one is in August. Have we set that date? August 14th? Okay. Wasn't too sure. I did attend Union County CIC, and so a lot of information that's coming from there, a lot of development that's coming over the next little bit that's coming up for that as well. And they were very excited about what's happening down here in Plain City. It was mentioned a couple of times because they were talking about their incentive program, and they mentioned that Plain City just had theirs. Yeah, we just had our first reading, and so they're excited that we have. So they rewrote, they're updating theirs, and in writing that, if someone wants to come down here, they have to look at our incentive policy as well. So I decided to report that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Udaly. And PCBA and Union County Chamber of Commerce.
Me?
Yeah, yes, Union County
I don't have,
Chamber.
I don't have an update on Union County Chamber of Commerce. Our next meeting is next month.
Okay. And then Mr. Dryer, PCBA, they're meeting Wednesday to pack backpacks, is that correct?
So the regular meeting for PCBA, this one is canceled, will not be available, and instead they are hosting a volunteer day for VMA. There's a link I'm more than happy to send around if you haven't received it yet. There's a sign up genius link. There's 2 shows to help load and unload for VMA, and I believe it's Sharon at my church.
Yes, if you don't mind sending that, that would be great. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you very much. That takes us into our discussion items. We have Highland Real Estate Group, LLC pre-annexation agreement.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm just going to really quick just say that staff and administration is very excited to get this process started. We understand there's some things to work out, but we want to go ahead with the annexation. Highland's been a great partner so far, and we look forward to focusing on a common development that works really well for the area and for our residents. And Mr. Sanford is going to provide more information tonight.
Yes, good evening, thank you. As Ms. Lupton alluded to, we have a request for a rather significant annexation on the north side of Plain City that will be located in Jerome Township and obviously Union County. Roughly estimated southeast of US 42 between the Big Darby Creek and Hickory Ridge Road, so up in that northeast quadrant of Plain City. What we have for you tonight as first readings, there's 2 items related to this potential annexation. The first is just a statutory pre-annexation agreement. We do this with all of our proposed annexations. This basically just outlines what the roles and responsibilities of each party would be as far as the village would handle certain things and that the property owner, the developer would have other responsibilities. And then from that also, we have what's called a statement of services. This is a resolution that we are required to file with the county commissioners within 20 days of the property owner or the developer making a formal petition. That actually happens time there, we will ask that the first reading occur tonight on the statement of services, and then I believe during the work session, we would have potential second reading and approval for that. Now, both of these items does not, and I want to clarify, it does not automatically accept annexations. Okay, this is not, we're not in that process yet. This is just the beginning of a very long process that we need to work out. So there are a lot of items that we are still reviewing, and actually the developer will be here, I believe during the work session to do a basically an unveiling or conceptual overview of the project. So we look forward to that and learning more and sharing that with the community as well. One of the things I do want to touch on is that this is proposed to be a multifaceted business and commerce park. Okay, we're not looking at 350 acres of residential or multifamily business uses. And as this would work through the processes, obviously Mr. Hutchinson here would have, would be working very closely on development plans, buffers, things like that, so we can make sure that we handle things right. Same with rezonings, obviously council would have ultimate authority on rezoning and then major site plans, things like that. So we have a whole process, obviously, that we will be following here. We do not have a timeline on when this project is going to come to fruition. Again, the annexation is the first step of this, so there's a chance that we may be here a year from now still talking about this. We hope not. We hope that we'll have the project come to fruition and approvals by then. However, just keep in mind this is not going to be an overnight thing for our community. That being said, the reason we are excited for this is that it is a multi-use business type commercial park. So it really gives the village an opportunity to get its hands around economic development. You guys are all aware, and residents are all aware, that we've been very heavy on residential growth in the last five years or so. Obviously, with residential growth comes the demand and need for actual economic development activity, businesses, major employers, things like this. We're really excited to see what that looks like, and we will obviously be shaping what that looks like. But it's really time that we as a community step up and start looking for job opportunities and locations for businesses. So that being said, I will just say if those in the room, we understand the comments and concerns, we get that. Please come back for the work session. That will be when the concept is unveiled, and the developer and of course our staff will be here to gather feedback and take that back and go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Stanford. Any questions? All right. We have a motion to set the public hearing for the rezoning of 225 Guy Avenue, 265 Jefferson Street, and 0 US 42 parcels number 04-00230, number 04-00503.001, and number 04-00503.002, respectively, RZ-24-1 from Community Business District B2 to Plan Unit Development PUD for September 9th, 2024, contingent upon a recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Mr. Sims.
Yes.
Motion is approved 5-0 for September 9th, 2024 for the public hearing. Moving into unfinished business, second reading resolution 37-2024, authorizing and implementing the Plain City facility rental rules and regulations.
Motion approved. Second reading, resolution 37, 2024.
Second.
Mr. Lewis.
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson.
Yes.
Mr. Sims.
Yes.
Mr. Daly.
Yes.
Resolution 37-24 is passed. Moving into new business. First reading ordinance 16-2024, authorizing the creation of 4 Marin Reserve Tax Increment Financing Incentive Districts within the village of Plain City, Ohio, declaring improvements to certain real property within such incentive districts to be a public purpose, declaring such property to be exempt from real property taxation for a period of 30 years, describing the public infrastructure improvements to be made to benefit or serve the real property within such incentive districts, pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 5709.40C, requiring the owners thereof to make annual service payments in lieu of taxes during the period of exemption, establishing a municipal public improvement tax increment equivalent fund for the deposit of such service payments, and authorizing the execution of a tax increment financing and developmental agreement together with related authorizations.
What was that again?
Exactly. We can do that again. First reading ordinance 17-24, approving a supplemental appropriation of funds and amendments to the Village of Plain City 2024 budget. First reading resolution 38-2024, authorizing the Village of Plain City's participation in the ODOT Maple Street Bridge Replacement Project in accordance with ORC Section 5521.01. First reading resolution 39-2024, authorizing and directing the village administrator to enter into a pre-annexation agreement with Highland Real Estate Group, LLC. First reading resolution 40-2024, approving an economic development plan for the Marin Reserve Incentive District's development area. First reading resolution 41-2024, stating with what services the Village of Plain City will provide to the proposed annexation of 547.16 acres of land in Jerome Township, Union County, Ohio. That concludes our public portion of our meeting this evening. We will be entering into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22G8, to consider confidential information related to an applicant for economic development assistance. And we will not be returning with any further business this evening. So thank you all for attending. Is there a motion to enter into executive session?
Session?
Second.
Mr. Daly?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Ms. Ferguson?
Yes.
Mr. Sims?
Yes.
Mr. Lewis?
Yes.
Motion approved to enter at 6:50.